Hello, this is Justin from the Dynamail project, and this is the second screencast of the Tracker plugin. In the first screencast, we did a couple cool things. We checked out how redirect links worked, and we showed how automatic redirect links worked. We sent a plain text message, and we sent a HTML message using the built-in FCK editor, WYSIWYG editor, and we showed how open logging works with HTML messages, but not plain text messages. And now I'm going to show you how the tracker works with the bounce handler. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of bogus email addresses that, actually, let's do just one. We'll add a bogus email address that we know is going to bounce, and we're going to see how the tracker tracks this bogus email address. So I'm pretty sure this email address does not exist. If this is your email address, I'm very sorry for using it for my demonstration. Great. So if I go to see how many addresses I have two email addresses now subscribed. One is me, and one is a bogus email address. So let's send another message. Actually, let's do this. Let's make it real fancy. Let's see how far we can integrate everything. So instead of sending just a message, let's send a web page. And just off the cuff, let's send the homepage of dynamailproject.com. That would be kind of neat. And let's see, advanced objects. Let's embed the images in the message itself. Okay, send that away. So this will be cool because we'll grab just a web page from the internet. The Dynamail will actually put in those redirect tags for each and every link in that message. So when we click on any of those messages, they'll be recorded by the tracker plugin. And since it's an HTML message, opens will be tracked as well. So we're going to do everything in this message. And since we have a bounce message, we'll check the bounce handler and see if that bounce actually was recorded as well. Okay, let's first go to the bounce handler before we do anything and see if anything bounced from that message we just sent out. Now, since I know I put a bogus email address, if I check the parse bounces and check to see if there's any waiting messages, there should be one waiting. Maybe not. Sometimes since the bounce handler does run automatically, sometimes it beats me to the punch. Okay, well, let's check out my email account. Uh-oh, looks like I got a message. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my goodness, it's this amazing formatted image. I'm sorry, HTML email. This looks amazing. All right, well, let's click on something. I want more information. Let's see, how do I install this darn thing? Looks easy enough. Let's go back to my message. Oh yeah, purchase ProData. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, cool. All right, well, maybe later. What else do I got here? Ooh, let's request an installation. Let's get the whole kit and caboodle. Great. Hey, let's go back to my tracker plugin in my own Dynamail control panel and see what kind of things were tracked. Sometimes when you've sent a couple email messages, it's kind of hard to keep things straight. So the tracker does have a really simple link to the message archives. So if you forget, you're like, what was this email message that you sent? You can look in Dynamail's own archive and be like, oh yeah, the one to the Dynamail homepage, great. And go back to the tracker and then go see, it's like, well, we've got 2 subscribers, that bounced email address, and my real one. There was 3 click-throughs that I just did. There was 1 open that I just did, and oh look, the bounce message, the bounce handler did actually record a hard bounce for that bogus Gmail account. That's pretty cool. And if you see, your graph actually starts getting interesting. So the light blue line is click-throughs, which were 3. Green is subscribers, there were 2. The blue line is open, there was 1. So actually, it's kind of cool. If I go back, you'll see I just recorded another open. So instead of 1 open there, there'll be 2. Maybe. Let's see. 2 opens. Cool. And the graph automatically changes. And the red line is a bad line, but it means hard bounces. And there was 1 for my last message. So once you have, a couple thousand subscribers instead of 2, and have a couple dozen messages instead of 3. Did I have 3? Yeah. This graph gets kind of cool and interesting. So that's kind of the click-through tracker, except that I can also look at each message individually, which is really cool. So at the top, it'll tell me how many subscribers I had when I sent the message, how many click-throughs I had, of the message itself, how many opens, and how many bounces. And then it just keeps going. So it goes from how many click-throughs I had per URL. So those are all the click-throughs that I had. And all these click-throughs were automatically created using a redirect link. I had nothing to do except take a web page that was already on the internet and check it out. And then it'll tell me how many click-throughs were by country, since I'm in the USA and I clicked 3 times. That's how many there are. There aren't any others because no one else clicked on it. It also tell me how many the opens are via country. There was 2 opens, both by me, both in the United States, and also the bounces. And the bounce is cool because it also tells me which email address bounced. And what's also cool is I can click on the email address. That'll take me to the bounce handler itself, and I'll get the actual log of that bounce message. So the diagnostic code says this email account that you reached does not exist. Oh, well, that's cool because I knew that. But say I was trying to debug a problem. Well, here's all the information I need right in my fingertips, right where, right in the kind of campaign monitor of the mass mailing I just put out. And the other super cool thing is if I want to export this information, say I want to run my own spreadsheet on what URLs got clicked through, you can export these logs that DynaMail creates into whatever you like. Oh, not bad. What am I going to use? I'm just going to use my text editor. Great. And that just saves it as a .csv file. And you can copy paste that into Excel. You can use online Google Docs. You can use something else if you like. Pretty cool stuff. So that is basically, in a nutshell, the new tracker plugin. One last thing it does, if you check it out, kind of as a little flourish, is shows you kind of a cool pie graph of subscribers via domain. So if I had a couple thousand more subscribers, I can see how many percent are coming from, say, gmail.com. I have 1 right now. How many are coming from, say, my own URL. It's really cool. You get kind of an idea of like who's coming from where. And say if you know there's a problematic domain, say AOL.com is giving you problems, and you have 33% of your subscribers are from AOL, which would be crazy. You know that maybe you should cater to the AOL folks just specifically maybe, and make sure they get the messages. So that's the click-through tracker in a nutshell, as I say. If you have any questions, please see the support site at dynamailproject.com. We have message boards. You can email me, sign up to the discussion list if you want, and talk. I'd love to get some feedback on the new tracker plugin. I think it's amazing. I think it opens your eyes on what exactly your mass mailings are doing instead of just sending it out and then kind of wondering what happened and then getting kind of second senses of like, well, you know, there was a spike in our web traffic, we think, and I think it's because of the mass mailing. So maybe this will help kind of figure out a little bit more what kind of trends are happening, give you a little bird's eye view of how your mass mailings are doing. And also, since you'll know a little bit of how your mass mailings are doing, you can make the next mass mailing you go a little bit better. Thanks for watching.